You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time for the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris. How you doing, Dan?
I am doing all right.
Well, I'm excited to have you here.
I'm doing okay. I'm pretty excited, too, because, this is the Dan Farris experience.
It is.
Established in 1956, a great year for rock and roll and American automobiles. So, yeah, I'm kind of a big deal. John, how you doing, Heidi?
Super duper. How are you?
You're looking super duper.
Why, thank you.
Big day, huge day, historically speaking. Big day, probably a misstep when you go over the history of this whole thing, but it was this day. Prohibition ratified. Yep, the 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution authorizing the prohibition, the ban of
Hooch.
Alcohol.
Did they ever overturn that?
John Barleycorn. No, that's still in effect. I don't know how these bars and nightclubs are getting away with what they're doing. Ratified by the U.S. Congress, who signed off on it and immediately hit happy hour for one more go. And then, strangely enough, coincidence? I don't think so. Happy birthday to one of my all-time rock and roll heroes, Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards, is 76 today. And the reason this ties in, I just recently read an article. Because I know last week we covered Willie Nelson has quit smoking marijuana.
Yes.
Which is huge. Looks like Keith Richards has put the plug in the jug.
Really?
He's been a big drinker since he was like 3 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, his favorite drink, and I just happen to know this, Rebel Yell Bourbon.
Really?
Yup, one of his favorites. That is distilled, by the way, by Lux Row Distillers in Bardstown, Kentucky, who are now filing for bankruptcy.
Because he is no longer buying their product.
Because Keith is going, maybe I drank enough.
I'm full.
So there you go. Yeah, happy birthday.
He should be with
to
us
Keith.
forever. He's pickled by now, isn't he?
Yeah, probably.
He will be with us forever. Him and cockroaches. That'll be it.
Yeah. Did we tell you the story about our former neighbor who sat and drank with him all afternoon and didn't realize who he was?
Yeah, it probably wasn't near enough. Back when they asked Keith Richards to do a drinking contest, he would look at you and say, "How many weeks?" I was just thinking tonight, Keith. Sorry.
I'm clearly out of my league.
I got nothing. I'm going home now.
Throw in the towel now. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it can also be expensive. One survey found 44% of shoppers racked up more than $1,000 in holiday debt last year, and 5% accumulated more than $5,000 in debt. Are you still paying for last year's Christmas gifts? Maybe you need better credit cards. We'd love to help at bettercreditcards.com. Find a card that's a better fit for your needs. Some like cards with points or miles. Others just want a lower rate. Find what you're looking for at bettercreditcards.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals, too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Heidi, John, all the little radio rangers at home. Hey, before I forget, we just got through the old Ranger Dan theme song there. It's been on special going in the holiday season. You can download that from Amazon Prime. It's monthly, just $1.99.
Oh, wow.
And thanks to all the folks who have done that. And again, here's a little tip, little radio rangers. You are never too young to secure the services of a really good tax attorney. Let's get on with it. There's a little critter knowledge, and we're going to the mailbag this morning, too.
Oh, nice.
So we'll make a really short critter knowledge. I think we've used this one before. It's a go-to. It's a great one. Rats cannot vomit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
All right, let's jump
Heidi
into the mailbag.
tried to prove that wrong, but she was certainly surprised.
See what we got here. U.S. Treasury, I don't think so. IRS, DEA. Oh, that's new Food and Drug Administration. Here we go. Here we go. Dear Ranger Dan, first and foremost, love, 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 love. The Ranger Dan Show. You know, I heard you talking just the other day, Ranger Dan, about, our offering automatic renewal on non-residential hunting license if those licenses were purchased from Ranger Dan Enterprises back in October. Yep, That's true. Just $9.99. You go to the Ranger Dan website, follow the links to GF&P Dark Web, and
Dark Web.
take you from there. Well, here's the situation that reminded me I was going to share this story, but I darn near forgot because legal troubles happen along the way. Sorry to hear that. Anyway, Ranger Dan, I had purchased one of my licenses from you, and earlier in November I was out hunting with some folks up by Sisseton.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Now, we were approached by a member of the Game, Fish, and Parks Department, which I know you refer to as the Brown Shirts.
Oh, yeah.
And he asked to see my license. And so I obliged. I gave my license. He took a good long look, put it in his pocket, then informed me he was confiscating my firearm.
What?
Oh!
When I asked him why, he said, well, for starters, this license doesn't look correct. For instance, South Dakota is spelled S-O-U-T-H-E. D-U-C-O-A-T-A.
It's just the French spelling.
I don't really see your point here so far. Also informed me that I'd probably have to appear in court, possibly pay a heavy fine. Signed, a huge fan, Ronald Lindquist. Okay, a couple of things here, Ronald. You also tell me in order that firearm, let's see, you were sporting a brand new Remington 12-gauge semi-automatic Versa Max Tactical, retail value about $1,500.
Nice.
All right. Now, I have said time and time again, if you are utilizing anything from Ranger Dan, gear, apparel, documentation, whatever the case may be, if you're out on the hunt, always use anything from the Savage Firearm Company. For instance, a brand new Savage Series 320 12-gauge pump shotgun. It's less than $300, and who cares if you lose it?
Solid advice, it sounds like.
And just by the way, because you're trying to bust my chops here, I think, Ron, can I call you Ron? South Dakota, S-O-U-T-H-E. The E is silent. D-U-C-O-A-T-A. Dakota. Sounds just like it's spelled, Ron. And by the way, and here's another red flag too, long as we're on the subject here, Ron, and I got to tell you what, I got my dander up just a little bit, possibly right up to here, over this whole situation.
Calm down.
If you were carrying a firearm wandering anywhere near Sisseton, which is under French rule, that entire damn town probably going to surrender and make you mayor, so I don't know what you're talking about. Ranger Dan refuses to be scammed. That's all there is to it. That's all the time we have, little radio rangers. Keep in mind, the drill. You go to church, say prayers, stay in school, eat vegetables, don't be playing soccer, and don't let me get you wearing Crocs. Ranger Dan out? Yes, sir.
Ranger Dan's Critter Corner on Sunny 93.3.
This time of year, we have many events that involve alcohol. If you struggle to drink without drinking too much, there is help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It is time for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. We've got Dan Farris back in the studio now, looking very studious over there.
Well, this is a thing, and every year it comes and goes. I can't remember a time when Salvation Army wasn't ringing the bells with the red kettles.
Oh, yeah, it's a big deal.
Been going on a long time, and every now and again, every year there are some department stores, whatever, they go, we're not going to do that anymore because we've gotten complaints. And then somehow it turns into like a thing. I personally like it, and I never pass a kettle without throwing something in it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I also thank the folks for ringing.
Absolutely, because it's a lot of times not pleasant to be out there doing that.
The struggle I have is I don't typically have anything to put in there. Because I'm like, I got a card. That's all I have. She doesn't trust me with money for some reason, Dan.
He comes home with projectors.
Okay, here's what just happened. A married couple, one on each side of me, has just looked at me and started discussing money.
Take my side, Dan. Take my side.
Okay, if we were on TV, I'd be holding up a handwritten sign that said, help right now. And this is my life, man. It's not easy.
This is life in the studio.
I will
Gee,
digress.
Jan, what's with all the medication? Well, for starters...
Let me tell you.
I'll digress. Back to the kettles.
Well, the reason I bring this up, and we're talking locally here, and we know John Mogan, good friend of ours, he leads up the charge trying to schedule ringers at the Hy-Vees and Lewis and all over the place. Anyway, this season, and some of it weather-related, we have had some weekends with some horrifying weather early on, but they are down, and this surprises me because this town's really banging, and nationally the economy's really banging.
Right.
They're down about $50,000 locally.
Really?
This year with the Salvation Army kettles, yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, came across this story. Let's see, who did I borrow this from? I normally write and investigate all my own stuff. That is, how do I even sleep at night saying stuff like that? Hey, Kello and my buddy Dan Santello, who I've never met. Appreciate that.
Well, they were doing a thing asking people to donate $20.
Well, they do a match every year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Throw in 20, then some organization
a person will
matches
match the 20.
Yep.
So if we're 50,000 down, maybe if we got 1,000 people to throw in 50, maybe that's what we need to do.
Yeah, it's
or
all
50 people to throw in 1,000. There's a lot of different ways to do this.
When you look at all the traffic at where these kettles are, which are, primarily the two bigs in town, of course, are the Lewis's and the Hy-Vees.
Yeah.
Just all the traffic in and out of there. Now,
Walmart.
Yep. Now, these kettles are only out until Christmas Eve, I believe. Okay. So we're not, about a week now?
Right.
Yeah,
so not a lot of time.
Christmas
yeah,
Eve
and I'm not telling anybody what to do with their money. I thought it was interesting that they're that far behind this year.
Well,
and that's
again,
the only reason I'm bringing it up.
Debit cards have really taken over cash in pocket.
Oh, when I go through a checkout anymore?
Really, really difficult.
I'm one of the few people anymore that still throws cash.
Yeah. I very rarely have cash.
Yeah, everybody's got
behind
the card.
a guy like you the other day.
So I'm sure that makes a difference.
Oh, with real money in their pocket?
Want to pay with cash. The kid behind the counter is like, what is this?
Wait, what are you, some Russian operative?
Manager, please.
No, I've just gotten in the habit over the years, if I don't have the money in my pocket, I'm not buying it. And it's served me well. I have two vehicles that don't work, and I'm losing my home. So it's solid.
We have a guest room. We're good to go. You want to stay in the shed?
And by the way, ladies, he's single.
And on that note,
you need the Dan Farris experience.
Dan,
thank you. Cow, pow,
thank you.
pow, pow, boom,
Thank you for coming in. Going to have some entertainment news in a moment, and coming up next, going to talk about laser tubing. That's on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny.
We all know someone that's a little weird. They're great, but they have a weird sense of humor. If you need to get them a gift for the holidays, be sure to check out weirdgiftoftheday.com. Each morning, we post a different weird item that will make you smile. There's no fee to join and no obligation to buy anything. Just follow our page on Facebook and get a smile each morning. weirdgiftoftheday.com. Weird gift ideas for your weird friends. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. Everybody okay in here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Do we need to take a recess? Hey, if you're looking for something fun to do, this Saturday, we have laser tubing. We're actually sponsoring this out at Great Bear. We're going to be out there. I'll be the one playing the music, and it's sponsored by Snowy Radio, which is not Sunny Radio. It's our Christmas cousin. All Christmas music all the time, snowyradio.com. And I'll be out there playing some rockin' Christmas music on Saturday night while we're doing the laser tubing. It goes from like 9 to midnight, something like that.
Oh, this thing's fantastic.
Yeah.
If you've seen video of it or actually been out there the past couple of years, it's wicked cool.
This will be my first time being there. All of the details on our Facebook page for Snowy Radio, facebook.com/Snowy Radio. If you go there, you can find all the details for the laser tubing. I'll try to share it on our Sunny Radio page. If Facebook will let me. They want me to upload a picture of my passport to do that.
Yeah, that's not a trick.
This just feels like some sort of scam.
That's not right.
I don't know what's going on there, but it is on our Snowy page, facebook.com/Snowy Radio. And we've got a couple of tickets to give away if you would like to join us at Laser Tag this Saturday night at Great Bear. Laser tubing. What did I say?
Laser two
tag,
different things.
If you'd like to join us at Laser Tubing.
Right. Which still sounds like a medical procedure when you think about it.
It kind of does.
Oh,
Going in for a laser tubing.
Went to my OBGYN. Next thing you know, laser tubing.
It's not that. It's just laser lights while we're tubing on the snow.
Fun for the whole family.
Oh, boy. Somebody should have warned me. If you get a chance, join us. Again, all the details. And if you'd like to win, you can sign up to win right now at facebook.com/Snowy Radio.
Student loan debt is now the second highest consumer debt category, behind only mortgage debt. It's higher than both credit cards and auto loans. Believe it or not, the average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to almost $40,000 in student loans. 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you only have one student loan, we may offer a better rate to help you get that paid off sooner. Singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Okay, hang on. This just in. I do at least once a week now.
Yeah.
For I got to put on my Santa Claus hat.
Oh, yeah, you are Dan.
Yes.
Give something away. So before we get into the celeb thing, let's do this on behalf of Eileen and the best salon crew in the world at Southeastern Hair Design and Day Spa.
Heidi's getting her hair cut there today.
I am.
Get out. What?
I am so excited.
What?
Ladies, for those of you or men who want to meet Heidi, just schedule an appointment today, and then you can pretend like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, I didn't know you were
I'm
going to
sure
be
there will
here.
be lines around the block.
You want to hear the funny thing? When I go places, people are like, oh, it's nice to meet you. Is Heidi here? I'm like, no, she's not here. Like, yeah, she should have been here. That would have been awesome.
That happens to me all the time. No matter where I go, they go, is anybody else here?
Anyone?
We honestly don't care who.
Is you? Anybody? Bueller?
Kristen Hermson. Kristen Hermson.
She's going to have a beautiful new do.
Well, she's already lovely, but she's going to be lovelier.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's all there is to it. $20 gift certificate to Southeastern Hair Design and Day Spa. Relax, renew, and refresh. Just right off 69th and Cliff.
Yeah, nice people. Super nice.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Known Eileen Donnelly for years. They do an amazing job. Amazing facility. So there you go. What are we into? Celebrities. That's what.
Fabulous.
Snap 'em, pop 'em. Let's go, because celebrities are fabulous. Hey, this little guy has taken over Facebook like huge. Baby Yoda.
Oh, I thought
yeah.
you said
Can't get away from Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Can't get away from the little white cat dude, and you can't get away from Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is a star, a huge star. And so you think Star Wars, right? Well, apparently Baby Yoda is part of something called the Mandalorians.
Oh.
Which is part of the Star Wars universe.
Oh.
Okay.
Now the new Star Wars movie launches this weekend, right? Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker hits theaters Friday night, I believe.
Okay.
The 20th. Yeah, the 20th.
Is that when it is?
Yeah.
I didn't know when I was going to skip going to see that movie.
So the big buzz has been all about, hey, is Baby Yoda going to be in this bad boy?
Yeah.
Well, J.J. Abrams is headed up, the crew's director, whatnot, for this particular Star Wars movie, and he just came out and said, nope. Nope.
Where does Baby Yoda fit in? Why are they making Baby Yodas if he's not in anything?
Well, apparently somewhere in the future, what Star Wars movie does this make? And they refer to everything as a trilogy, but yet there's been 947 versions. I just get confused.
They do them in chapters of 3, so they're trilogies of trilogies of
Trilogy? Okay. So apparently a lot of fans were just thinking, because of the advent of this little Baby Yoda thing being splattered all over social media.
Yeah.
But no, he will not be in, or
Okay.
he or she. Is it?
I think
him.
Yoda's a he.
It's Yoda.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I don't know a lot
Baby
about
version
it
of Yoda.
because, again, I'm one of those people that I saw the original 3.
Yeah.
And I was good.
You're like, that was good.
I haven't followed it since. I got my fill, and it's like, cool. And I don't begrudge. Like my son, he is now 30, but he's a big fan of the newer stuff.
Our son was loving them for a while. Now he's like, now it's like they're just doing it for the money. I'm like, that's why they do all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, apparently, The Mandalorian is a series that premiered on the new Disney streaming platform back in November. And as we know, Disney bought the rights to Star Wars, so they can do whatever they want with these images. So,
and they will.
They are.
But Baby Yoda is a huge hit. There's no doubt about it. But will not be in this upcoming film, and that's all I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I mention it because I really didn't have time to find anything interesting.
Hey, honesty is the best policy.
It is. I do what I do. And
did you ever have that where you were supposed to write a long answer for something in school and you didn't know the answer, so you just wrote a really nice something that hoped that they forgot what the question was by the time they finished reading it?
I can totally see how you would have done that. Because you pretty much do that in conversations.
And they're like, so, once again, how does that answer? How do I find the car wash again?
No idea.
Oh, that's right. That's what the question was. Well, Dan, thank you very much for coming in, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And congratulations to Kristen Harmsen. Winner in the holiday season. We like to give. That's what we do.
It's always good to have Dan to Claus in the studio right here on Sunny 93.3.